Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Just came back from spring break and it was a great spring break. Went up to the East Coast, Northeast Coast to tour Washington, D.C. first. And also, while I was up there, go visit Edgar at Princeton University. Edgar is the head of Theoretica Applied Physics. He's that professor at Princeton. Also a rocket scientist, plasma rockets in particular. But he runs the lab also that does all the work to create the Bacch-SP products that I've talked about, the audio, Bach for Mac, Dio, and a lot of things coming down the pipe, which we got to sample on this visit. Amazing. Actually, Pete the Greek, who you've seen in my videos before, he joined us on the tour. Great guy. You're going to probably see and hear him in the background of some of these videos. But I wanted to give you this preface first, because what I'm going to do is the tour of Princeton. Also, it's spring break for my daughter. She's going to college next year. She wanted to tour the campus of Princeton. I will release those in shorts on YouTube because they're not really audiophile related, so I'll just put those in shorts. I know a lot of people have asked me, how was that tour? So if you're just interested in that part as well, I'll have little shorts for you to just see that side of the spring break and Princeton campus. But what I'm going to share with you after this preview is some of the footage in his lab, the stuff that I can share with you, at least in video publicly, of things that they're working on. And in particular, there are two things that kind of blew me away. The facility and the rocket science side, number one, that was crazy. Totally blew my mind, the stuff that they work on and develop in there. And the fact that Edgar does both hats. He does the audio side and rocket scientist. But so I'll share with you some of that. But two things in particular on the Bacch-SP side of Theoretical Applied Physics is that on top of how great the Bacch-SP is right now with the spatial cues, what's coming down the pipe is even more exciting in terms of truly an evolutionary and revolutionary product in terms of giving you multiple sweet spots with one product, and actually an array speaker. What we tested it with was an array speaker, almost like a sound bar. It did have subs at the bottom. And after calibrating two people, Pete was the other one in this calibration test with me, we were listening to one speaker, but once we were calibrated, we could move anywhere in the room, and each one of us still got sweet spot stereo imaging. Truly incredible what's coming down the pipe. And it's probably revolutionize even speaker design in the future, such that you may not be buying two speakers ever again. You may be buying these arrays that are more like sound bars and get calibrated, and then you've got stereo imaging. You're not going to have to worry about putting two speakers perfectly in a room to get one little sweet spot at one location in depth. That's going to be, this is next century stuff already coming to this century. Got to witness it and test it firsthand. Really exciting. Even more exciting than that even is the fact that, yes, two different sweet spots for the same content material from that soundbar style array. He went one step further. It's not ready for prime time just yet, but same type of array, but two different pieces of content playing in front of two people and able to cancel out what's playing right next to you and only listen to what you want to listen to. Speakers right next to you, you're not hearing by attenuation of at least 30 dB he's achieved already. And you can see the application for that in car stereos. You no longer have to fight over who got control of the radio or what song is played. Each person can get their own sweet spot and content delivered from one system. And so this was truly a fun, evolutionary, revolutionary chance to see the future of audio. And rarely have I been this excited in the hobby. And again, you've seen with all the content. I don't want to make the whole channel turn into Bach products, but again, this is something that is bigger delta, as you've heard people in the chair, than any other thing I can showcase right for you right now. I can't showcase you a DAC, a tweak, a piece of electronics. Even speakers will not make the kind of difference that this makes. And in fact, one thing that you're going to see is a little Jambox being used with the Bacch-SP. People have asked, is my system good enough to use a Bacch-SP? He's tested it on 99-cent speakers even, and it works. And here you're going to see it on a little Jambox working, and I would have never believed it. But again, you're going to see that on video. So instead of me talking about it, why don't we just start showing you? So here's some video content from Edgar's lab, as well as on the rocket science side, and as well on the Bacch-SP side. Enjoy, guys.
So let's start from here.
So this is his primary thing, doing plasma physics for jet engines, plasma propulsion. So he truly is a rocket scientist that's also an audiophile.
This is actually inside my rocket. Oh, this is a 100 kilowatt rocket that can go into space.
Really?
And it's strapped on a spacecraft. That's all there is. Only one. You know, that's the full size. It takes 100,000 watts of power. Produces thrust. Produces about 50,000 watts.
So
power.
is this what was on like the Voyagers?
No, this is not. You see,
much more advanced.
this is electric as opposed to chemical rockets. So most rockets are chemical; they burn something.
Okay.
This doesn't. It's all electric. It uses electric power to create a plasma and create electromagnetic forces to accelerate the plasma and push them out. So this is this is called an SPD thruster, right there. So it looks like this, like a cone. We flow current. First, we take a gas and ionize it, becomes a plasma, which is a conducting gas, and we can conduct electrical power, current through it and apply a magnetic field. And then the interaction between the magnetic field and the current produces a force that blows the plasma out, and we get a jet. See the picture right there. The rocket fires. There's one picture right there. You see that on the wall.
Yeah.
And the rocket is actually an electric rocket. What comes out is not a combustion exhaust. It's actually the plasma itself. And it's much more efficient than a chemical rocket. So to go right now, we just got news on Friday. We're going to get funded for a new funding for Mars missions using nuclear propulsion.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And the president, the head of NASA, sent an email that same day announcing it's going to be going direction for it. And we got a grant, so we're going to be working back at this tank, which we haven't used since the pandemic, to upgrade with lithium. But right now we're doing experiments with this tank. So these tanks are used to create the vacuum of space. So we close this here.
Right.
And I have a whole basement full of pumping equipment. And we pump the air out of here down
Through
to,
here, right?
the pumps are
Oh,
huge.
it's huge
They're
downstairs. So huge. Wow.
You and I can go inside the pump.
Oh, wow.
Easily. They'll be comfortable.
So it's a perfect vacuum in there.
Yeah, well, very high vacuum. It's about 100 billion times less than atmospheric pressure.
Oh, wow.
It's not perfect vacuum, but we don't need a perfect vacuum. And then we have, see, if you look here, there's a structure. It's called a thrust stand. We mount the thruster on it, and that can measure the thrust of the thruster. And we can operate and measure its characteristics. So we're getting ready. We have a grant from DARPA. DARPA is a defense agency to study a new idea that we propose, which is to use plasma propulsion to allow spacecraft to fly closer to Earth. We usually work on getting further from Earth, but this new grant is to be able to fly lower altitude, which is difficult because of the atmosphere. So these plasma rockets ingest the atmosphere, this kind of new idea, to produce thrust to compensate for the drag of the atmosphere. So that's what we're working on right now. And I'll show you the rest of the lab. This is about to fire in this direction.
Okay.
So this is also a vacuum vessel with a plasma rocket at the bottom right there.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Come here a few months.
So
So that's the plasma rocket.
a plasma rocket. All right. Can't get that at Amazon.
No.
2006.
Yes. But we used it a lot. We took a lot of pictures. We take with it. It takes 100 million frames per second.
Wait, what?
20?
Still quite impressive.
Was it 20 megahertz?
Yeah,
Oh, I think there was 100 megahertz. Oh, I see. So 20 million frames per
And
second.
then 500,000 are the two options.
Yes, but the faster one is 20 million frames per second.
That's crazy.
Except, yeah, so we're trying to use it for an experiment now, so we're planning to revive it. It needs a shutter to open the shutter. You remember those little shutter?
Yeah, like a shutter release, right?
Yes, no, it's like a tube with a syringe. It looks like a syringe.
Yeah.
So I happen to have one. Emil is so young, he's never seen one. So I was going to bring one this
The
afternoon.
manual doesn't mention it either.
Yeah.
It just says open the shutter. It's a mechanical shutter.
Yeah, we should give it a clean. It takes Polaroid.
Oh, really?
So now we're going to try to replace that or find film, find a Polaroid back. So anyway.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
these are my faithful assistants.
Looks just like you, Edgar.
This is Lars,
Lars,
Hans,
Hans.
These are good
and this is
friends, huh?
Johan's Christoph.
Oh.
Is that,
Jason
Edgar,
recognizes
I
this
have a
for
question for you.
yes.
Where can I buy phones
Oh,
like this?
I can send you the. Yeah, the supplier.
Did you-
Yeah,
send
it's
me the
easy.
link?
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
send you the supplier.
Cool. All right.
So this is our motor system, which I'll describe to you later on. And this is our anechoic chamber.
Oh, Jason. Go back.
Oh, the Anechoic team. Right
Oh, so this is the array you're working on for multiple sweet spots?
No, this is actually for separate personal. I'll show you a multiple sweet spot. This is for personal sounds. So it is multiple sweet spot, but they each get different audio, as opposed to we have some.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you see, we'll give you a demo. You can choose your song,
Uh-huh.
and Emily can choose a song.
So you won't hear from the other speaker?
No, but 30 dB less.
Really?
Yes. And that's
So that's taking multiple sweet spot to the next level.
yes, that's a different program.
Totally different
So
material.
the multiple sweet spots, same program. We call it Bacch-SP.
Okay.
And Bacch-SP, we'll give you a demo of that too. And then this is the multiple sweet spots, but with different audio. That's called Mahler, M-A-H-H-L-E-R.
Okay.
And in your ears. And this sitting on a turntable. Even Peter can be turned around by the turntable. And has a good torque. We push a button and it turns you around 360 degrees in 10 minutes. While sending swerves from here, we measure them, and that measurement is called the head-related transfer function. It tells us everything we know about how your head interacts with sound. And that's very important for many applications in spatial audio.
So the acronym you use is HRTF, is it?
Yeah, it's a head-related transfer function.
Okay.
It's a standard word in spatial audio.
Okay.
For how your head interacts. It's a transfer function between the source of the sound and your head. It's called the head-related transfer function. It's very important for spatial audio.
Right.
And there's many applications for it. When we go to the pro version of Bach BM, for Mac, Bacch-SP, we'll encounter.
Yeah.
I'll tell you more about. But if you go in, you see how dead it's pretty.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I've heard people go crazy.
Crazy, yeah. If you
Yeah.
if you stay in there too long, you'll go nuts, right?
Well, these are. This is not an isolated. This is an anechoic chamber that's not isolated from the outside. The one isolated from the outside. Is just
Wow.
silence. We're not trying to get sound. We're trying to absorb the sound from the wall. We're not trying to isolate from the outside. So it does have.
So
It doesn't drive you as crazy.
an array of Genelec speakers. Really cool. So all the patents.
Here's Kyle.
Trademark. Yeah, loudspeakers.
Jason.
Yeah.
So he's a black one, which could be the one that we send you if you.
Okay. Yeah. Let me take it.
Maybe I should put some light.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That's the black one. Okay.
I'll get close here.
Yeah, how about depending where the deadlines are.
So yeah, a little bit different than the Grand, but really cool.
Yeah, this is one.
Not just a
piece.
stamp.
Which one's
This is all
That's the
one.
audio.
Audio. Okay.
It's not multi-piece. This
It's a
is
single piece of aluminum. It's one piece.
single billet.
Yeah, it's mill.
All right. Things good? Yeah. Awesome.
So here's where. So that's the silver one.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think I like the black, but it's very sleek.
Yeah.
If you've got silver gear, this is gonna be the
Yeah.
choice for sure.
Well, the black I can send you one. Like tomorrow we can get it shipped.
Okay, yeah, I'm
That's
okay
great.
with that
Because,
last. Yeah.
This unit is ready actually. I QC tested, so tomorrow we'll go to one last QC test and gets packaged and shipped. And this is the full audio. The DIO will have a plate right here that will block this section.
It's really impressive that it's not just a square chassis
Oh,
that's
yeah, I know.
stamped.
You
This
can
is
see how
actual
chamfered-
thick. Yeah,
This is
this is solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a solid. It's very heavy. It's a solid piece of aluminum. It's all milled.
So it's actually more substantial than the Grand.
Yes, and the chassis is better. Yes.
Yeah.
The Grand has more
Yeah,
options.
that's beautiful. Really.
Yeah. Well, the Grand will have the lights and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, this one has a single light right here. You just push that button and that light.
But yeah, this is very cool.
Yeah, I designed all this.
Bevel
And I had
here.
Daniel Gallman, iterate many designs. And that's the last thing I had. I asked him if he can add this. I want it to be like a like a pyramid, the base of a pyramid, so it's not square.
Yep.
So
Right.
so it has a one facet right here, another facet,
Mm-hmm.
and then it still didn't click. It looked like a box until we added this shampoo. You see that shampoo right here?
Yeah.
That gave it like a jewel look. And that's you can see those lines right here.
Yeah. Let's check a look at this. Jambox here.
So
Jambox paired.
yes. So exactly. So you go like this. You turn it on,
Let's get started.
and then you push.
Mini Jambox is in pairing mode,
You push-
waiting to pair with your device. To make your speaker the smartest on the planet, download the Jawbone app.
Here we go. And now it's paired. In a minute.
Mini Jambox paired.
Okay. So there are two buttons, a plus or minus. You see them? I'm gonna turn them off.
Live
Okay.
audio on.
Now
No, that's on.
that spark is on,
Spark is on.
and then you toggle it off.
Live audio
That's
off.
off.
So if I hold it like this, Emily, in front of you, like this.
About 1 meter away
From
from your
here.
face.
Yeah,
About
roughly.
1 meter, roughly.
Yeah. And I'm gonna play something here.
Hold it a little bit higher, so it's like ear
Yeah,
level.
it's not very critical. Let me play this, for example. So first you'll hear it coming from the regular speakers. Okay. And I'm going to turn it on. I'll work it. I'll
Live audio on.
You get the 3D image? Turn it off.
Live audio off.
You-
Audio off. Live audio on.
That's incredible. So people have asked me, will it work on my system? I don't have an expensive speaker.
These speakers probably are $1.50 each.
Yeah,
Maybe even less.
it's amazing.
But I mean,
That's crazy. It's insane.
So you can play anything. If you hold it like this, then I
There you
can.
go. Which track is that?
This is from the Chesky Records called Phrases.
Crazy.
One of his demo tracks, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. This is incredible, though.
So you don't need an expensive.
No, you can do it with your sound
Really
bar.
expensive system.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
huh?
make money.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So
but-
yeah,
This is a little taste.
Yeah, so-
This is a little taste. That's it.
when the
But you know, among some of the applications is that imagine you're watching a virtual reality with a headset. We do a lot of work on this. And suppose you have a headset and somebody like lights up a
it's literally coming
yeah,
from
it's right there. And
over
they can
here.
do it like mapping the sound stage. Imagine whilst you're watching the match, aside from seeing it. So that's the powerful.
That's like behind my head. Yeah, it's crazy. Just from this little thing.
Yeah.
No head tracking or anything.
Yeah, as long as you're in front of it, it's very robust. If you go like this, there's no.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and if you're far away, it's not going to work as well. You should
But
like-
still, you get that
Yeah.
spatial character, even when he moved it around. That's
So I'll
crazy.
give one to Emily, one to Peter.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So we can take the boom. So these speakers, The speakers, we control them, the delay between them in such a way so we cancel all the sound except into a beam. And then electronically we can steer that beam. Then we can use the head tracker to send the beam to where your head is. Okay, so we create four beams, two for each head. And you'll see it will find us and will send. And each two beams have a Bach filter. So now you can move and the beams follow you.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, two beams follow, yes, you'll see. If actually you bounce that beam off a board to your ear, it sounds like I'm holding a speaker.
Really?
Yeah, just we can do it if you want. It's just like it sounds like I'm holding a speaker. But let's do a quick demo. Maybe we can move this outside. Excuse me. And because we're going to be two people, may I ask only like one candidate? I'll stand right here.
Okay.
And may I ask people to stand outside because the camera or behind the door so the camera doesn't see who he is.
Okay.
And then we'll have one person. We'll bring you here.
And understand where?
Yeah, you and
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Camera was going to find you. You'll see. You're going to be tracked right there. You can peek in, Jason, and see what's happening on the screen. So we're okay. So you see, there's 1 and 2. See, I'm 1, and he's 2. Okay.
Oh wow.
Being head tracked very accurately.
Yes.
And then, and what's the gesture now?
Tilting your head up, just
Okay.
about this much.
Okay.
And
So
hold
it's,
it.
that's it. And to turn it off, do the same thing. Push your head up again. Okay. Turn down. Yeah. Stay like this, please. So now I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn on my sweet spot, okay? And it's not going to sound very good. I'm going to hear 3D. By the way, there's only two. Only this. Everything else is dead.
Dead, right.
There's a little subwoofer there
Yeah.
only.
Mhm.
These are all dead. Nothing's making sound except these two.
Okay.
Right? So now I'm going to turn on my sweet spot by pushing my head like this.
You have to hold it there for a second.
Okay. Can you rewind the sound? So it doesn't sound very good for you. Okay, now I'm going to turn it off. Turn on your sweet spot. Yeah. You can move around. It will follow you. See? Because the beams are following you. Now I'm going to turn on my sweet spot. So now we both hearing 3D sound.
That's crazy.
See that?
Yeah.
That's the only speakers listen to are these. You have the trombone there and
You have to hold it for a second.
that's it. The problem is that I'll tell you what's hard with that gesture is that there's no feedback. Okay. See, it doesn't sound good right now, right? It's just a muffled behind. Okay. Now turn on.
Yeah. Totally changes. Yeah.
So now you have a 3D. Now I have a 3D.
Yeah. So like way over here is where.
No, I don't like this gesture at all. It makes me dizzy. Okay.
But your gesture alone turns it on or off,
Yes.
and then it follows me.
It follows you. So I have a Bach on, you have Bach on. So this is a multi-sweet spot.
Multi. So the future of audio is really these array speakers instead of two speakers.
Yes, you can produce multiple sweet spots. You can,
Yeah.
you just have to make them so the sound is very good, and there are ways of doing
And then you have two sweet spots. This is amazing.
You can have as many sweet spots as you want.
That's crazy. That eliminates ever having to set up speakers again. Yeah, it's amazing. I can go wherever. How do I do it?
Yeah, back in the hold your head back for that's it until it goes away. You have to. The Bacch-SP is an HOA module, and I've been adding a lot
This
of
is a
features to
speaker
it.
or this is a microphone?
This is a microphone.
It's
It
a
has
microphone.
32 microphones.
Wow.
This company, which is only about 20 minutes from here, is making one with 64 microphones. And what we can do, so we can put that, we took that to Carnegie Hall and recorded 600 people singing at the same time. And we can navigate the sound field, we can isolate beams, say I want to listen to only to these two singers as opposed to the whole choir. You can do all that. You can actually, by turning this microphone on, Right now it's off, but you can turn it on. It will configure this into an ambisonic playback system with 20 speakers around you, and then so basically you put that microphone anywhere. You put your HRTF that we measured in the anechoic chamber. You put it in this library right here. You add it, and then you become as if you are sitting where the microphone is. Okay, it's reproduced by 20 virtual speakers. You will hear when the microphone is listening, so you will hear an binaural recording done with your own head, or binaural signal as if it's going through your head. And you can navigate the sound field, you can turn, you can also walk in the sound field by, we use actually multiple microphones by navigating, so you can actually keep the microphone somewhere and walk, navigate where the conductor is. All electronically, so remix the sounds from it. So HOA is a new, it's actually not new, it's been around for a long time, but it hasn't been developed virtually until the last few years. And now it's used in virtual reality, but I'm taking it to the audio worlds, and especially to audiophile and pro audio world. So the HOA module has many applications. You can create beams of sound, and then you can actually steer them. For example, this as a hearing aid, a technology I'm working on right now, and it's already working. You can turn it on right here. Let me turn on the head tracker like this. Turn on the display. Okay, so now it's tracking me right here. So if you look right here, turn on the HD nav, tracking on. See how this head is turning now, right now? Okay, so let me turn on the mic. See how it mimics exactly what I'm. So I can navigate the sound field, right? See that? And then let me bring it back. Right here, bring it back. Here we go. Oh, it's being confused by people behind me. So no, it's fine. I'll zoom in on myself. Here we go. Now it's not going to be confused. See that? So now it's zoomed on me. And so that does pretty much what my head does.
Right.
See that? That's me right here.
Yep.
See that? It's doing exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then it moves also. It goes backward, it goes forward, and I can navigate that sound field. But also what I can do, I can also use it to steer a beam. So right here, I'm going to set it to beam steering mode. So right now, I'm going to go right here and say, okay, set this, and okay. See right now this funnel here?
Yes.
So that becomes a very high directional microphone. I'm using all of these capsules to emulate a fourth order hypercardioid mic. It's like a microphone gun. But now I can, whenever I look, I'll hear only. So I put these earphones right here. These noise cancelling earphones in my ear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that becomes a very special hearing aid, because I can look. Suppose I'm at a restaurant, and there's a din, a lot of people are speaking. I have a hard time hearing. The waiter comes, and I look at the waitress, and I can hear her only. I'll block everybody else.
Oh,
See?
yeah.
And then I go back to my date and ask her, or my wife.
Interesting.
What do you do? Yeah. Or I can pretend I'm talking to my wife, and turn on the beam, and let's see, turn off the head tracker, and turn it to the TV like this, and be hearing the TV over the bar. Because you can steer the beam.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you can hear whatever in that direction.
Spy technology now.
So this is mostly then.
Yeah.
This is mostly for
That's it.
hearing aid.
But I've got this on the Pro model that I have.
Yes.
What could I do at home though with this? I don't have that.
Well,
mic.
I'll show you. Without the mic, the HOA module cannot do much with it. However, the mixer you can do a lot. Okay, I'll show you. The mixer is part of the Pro. With the HOA, however, there's a module called Zilia, which is a much $500, $400. This is a $20,000 mic.
Oh, well, we're gonna pass on that.
But this one is $400 or so. I think we can find them. And I'm adding all the software very shortly for the Zilia to be. I just signed a contract, a kind of agreement with them. It's a microphone. But I thought it's only like $500.
Depending on options, I guess. It may-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes. Pretty soon it will buy. Hey, buy now. Let's see. I have one of the very old ones.
so that comes with software and all
Yeah,
kinds
that
of
comes with all
stuff.
the software.
Okay. But what would you do? Like, I would measure what?
The microphone is for capturing a 3D sound field. Okay, so I'll explain that to you later on. This is really the future. I mean, it's all going to be HOA. You can, for example, if you take a dummy head and go to concert hall, you record it. It's only good for that dummy head. If you record with the Bacch-PM Pros, with them or Bacch-PM in your ear, that recording is made for you.
Right.
Only you are going to hear the correct spatial cues. Everybody else is going to get some degradation. You're going to get some errors in localization, especially for sources that are off the more than 40 degrees azimuth, or if they have elevation, or if they are behind you. You're going to get errors unless that's your the recording was done with your head or with your own head-related transfer function.
Okay.
So however, with this technology, you can record with this microphone. You capture the entire sound field, and then in post-production, you can add your head-related transfer function or of the head-related transfer function of the intended listener. Okay, so that becomes as if you did that recording with your head. Okay, now everybody eventually will get the HRTF. Right now, you need to come to an anechoic chamber to get it measured, but already there are software that allows you to measure it by scanning and so on.
Okay.
That's the future. So everybody's head will be on your USB stick or it'll be in your phone, and that's your acoustic signature, so to speak, your acoustic fingerprint. And then instead of the recording done in stereo, that'll be done in 32 or 64 channels. And in the rendering end, they'll be specified for you, so you will hear as if, and that's already can be done with Bach for Mac, by the way. You just drop in your HRTF, we'll take a recording done with this microphone, and you will hear it's going to be exactly like as if it's recorded with your, almost exactly, recorded with your head. It will be a binaural recording, but individualized for you.
That's crazy.
Okay, so that takes away the, and so everybody will get their spatial audio tailor-made for them. Okay, that's what's happening in
So people that have a band that want to record stuff that's different level of recording.
Yeah, this microphone is used in different ways. For example, Zilia sends it to a lot of musicians
Okay.
who use this to isolate the instruments. For example, so the band sits in the room. You have, musicians sitting. You have musicians sitting, guitarist, drummer, and so on. And then with this, by using technical beamforming, which my software can do also, you will isolate the musicians. So you produce tracks for each musician separately, as if as
Really?
if you're using a very high hypercardio type microphone.
Okay.
So you can also do beamforming by isolating sources. There are many things you can do with HOA. So a lot of that is I add to the Bach DSP,
Okay.
and I can show you later on when we get to that.
I do have a friend who's a band, has his own recording studio in his house. This might be a cool way for him to record himself and his
So you can
band.
record a band, and then you can suppose you want to edit the guitar.
Uh-huh.
You can separate the guitar from the
That's
same record,
crazy, yeah.
even though they're playing together.
And record it on one mic.
Come on, one mic.
That's what's really in
Yeah,
it.
that's one thing. The other thing you can do, you can record an orchestra, and then you can say, I recorded the choir in Carnegie Hall with 600 people with this mic. I have the video. It's a wonderful event, and it's one of the rare events in the history of Carnegie Hall with 600 people were singing. And then you can say, I want to listen only to 2 singers out of the 600.
Come on.
You can just zoom in on that part, or maybe depending on how far the beam is. But you can zoom in on, or you can say, I want to navigate. I want to listen to the orchestra from the point of view from
From a certain vantage point.
Yeah, from a certain vantage point. Let's say the conductor's vantage point, or you can pull that you require for accuracy. You require at least four.
Or like
four
sit in the
touch points.
first row versus the 10th row.
Yeah, well, you can navigate, and
Yeah.
and here actually we can navigate the sound field using it Bluetooth, or
amazing.
you can. So there are a lot of things you can do with the HOA.
This would be cool for bands that want to record something that they can put on YouTube and stuff that people
Yeah,
can...
already it's actually the Zilia they sell to
Mhm.
mostly bands who are recording and trying to beamforming. But there's more to it than just recording, you know, an isolate.
Because a while ago you were saying that, you know, if somebody, for the hearing aid.
Yes.
Because I was thinking like sometimes with somebody sitting in a restaurant with so much noise, it's really hard for that person to have a conversation.
That's the whole idea.
And so
Yeah.
that would really help.
Yes, I got funding for a year, just ended. I'm now looking for funding through my company, Bacch Labs, to continue that work. And it works pretty nicely. I mean, we usually give a demo right here. I stand here and Kyle stands here, and I put microphones here. It takes a little setup, but this is how it works. So I put you right here, put a little camera right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will recite the alphabet, and Kyle will stand here and says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you look at me, you hear the alphabet. When you look at him, you hear the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At any point you can just, and it blocks about
isolated.
15 decibel, you know.
That's good.
That thing,
So if anybody that wants to look up the AES papers,
3-dimensional,
3D audio and applied acoustics.
won't find this with most,
Audio applied acoustics tab.
or with pretty much any tweak in the hobby.
3D audio.
And the slide acoustics.
They avoid the AES intentionally, but not here.